All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Just back with another market update video here for you. Kind of just want to go over Bitcoin, kind of what I'm seeing, some alts as well, and kind of the setups I'm looking for. Bitcoin, we've been in this range for quite a while now, basically since the end of November. Um, and we're not really seeing any pushes out of it so far. And we had this kind of, large capitulation wick, but nothing really substantive to uh, to get us some prices higher. What I'm looking at basically right now, I mean, this 100K level obviously super important. Also, this like range high of this kind of bigger range that we've built here, and then we're kind of just chopping on top of it right now, which is good. I mean, if we compress, it'll lead to expansion. Which would be good. Maybe we train down into here and just kind of compress around and then break out. But um, the order book depth and stuff like that, the options market, it is kind of showing some people just are a little bit more cautious. I think with alts getting slaughtered, the macro environment being a little bit different as well. Um, NASDAQ kind of getting crushed with that AI narrative that we had going, just kind of some more risky stuff on the horizon, I would say. We did have FOMC. Powell really didn't indicate much for his next meeting. Um, wasn't really gonna give us much there, so not much to go off with that. GDP just came in basically on par with what everyone was expecting, so it's basically a nothing burger. So we're just kind of, trading until the next news event comes out or we get that push higher. Kind of what I'm looking at, this little block here lower. Let me load this up here. This little block here lower. Just kind of want to see where we trade into it. I don't even know if we'll come this low. I mean, you might just kind of bounce around 103, but around this 102 area, we do have this weekly VWAP here. I'd probably be looking at something with this kind of consolidation that we had. Probably a nice trade near, maybe this high volume node. You have the kind of the point of control of this little mini range here. Let me draw the fixed range. Yep, and then you have the other point of control up here. So, we could come down and then the VWAP trades higher. We kind of get that value area high retest along with the VWAP, but we'll see what happens. Kind of see how we trade into that level, see if we get an OI flush or the book depth is kind of changing there. So that's kind of what I'm watching. I mean, not too much really. Kind of pretty boring right now. Just kind of stuck in a long-term range. Um, Let me pull up the TPO chart here. Yeah, so I got that lower kind of 2-day consolidation marked out that I'll definitely trade around. The two plays we were talking about, it's black. Let me make it, or it's white. Let me make it black. Two trades that we're talking about, we come down in here into that high volume kind of node area. We bounce, we trade higher. Maybe the weekly VWAP comes up here and supports us, depending on how long it takes. If not, we kind of chop around and step back into this area. We can just look for that short down into the lower extremity down here. Let me go back. Let's see where that would take us. Yeah, maybe take out that low. Um, maybe. Anyways, that would just be a kind of a short-term trade that you could take. Let me delete this stuff here. All right, so that is the daily TPO. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, Not much has really changed on the weekly either. We got a good bounce from that kind of um, low volume node. I know this isn't volume, but the low volume node here on the TPO, we can see that distribution really great on the weekly. We have this bigger one, 100K. Let's see, where does that line up? Yeah, it might be worth the 100K test as well for a long, but let's go into some more other stuff so you guys some context here. Order book depth. Both the spot order books are pretty skewed to the ask side. Um, even this is 5, I think, and 10% depth. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 5 and 10%. You can see it's very stacked to the red on both. Both the 5 and 10% is stacked. I mean, you can just see it visually. Yeah, you don't even really have to pull this up. Um, there's that 100K level that we're talking about. We do got an order here, but on Binance, it's kind of thin, to be honest with you. Not much really going on the bid side, at least big orders, at least until 97. Um, if we do get down that low, I would kind of look for a sweep and kind of trap everybody in just at least a short term kind of bull trade higher, but it's probably going to take a while for that one to happen. So again, top of the range, just be cautious with the long side. You can tell we're getting very much skewed. I mean, you can just tell here, here. Look at this, very skewed to the ask side. Then if we also look at the cumulative deltas, so we have our spot delta, and we can kind of see up here, we have just kind of been selling the whole time. And then our cumulative trade, you can think about this is basically everything else, futures and stuff like that, is kind of ticking up, which doesn't look great, to be honest with you. Um, if funding does flip negative, it's normally a good short-term reversal sign, and it did kind of flip here, but I don't know. Maybe just people are jamming in short, or it's hard to tell on that one. So that's the only kind of thing that's throwing me off. We do see the spot selling, but then why are we flipping funding rate? Maybe just no one's longing, but we do see delta coming up. So we see delta coming up, funding rate flipping. So something to keep an eye out for. All right, this kind of just shows you the same thing, but yep, order book depth stacked. You can see stacked on the top here. We want to see that green come back down below us. All right, something else I wanted to mention, the 25 delta skew, you can see it's all negative. Basically, all that means people are more interested in buying puts than calls. So people are more interested in downside protection than they are, thinking that the market's going to go up. Basically, that's what that means. So, people are more interested in downside protection. Looks like spot is kind of distributing. We'll see what happens though. Um, anything I want to show on here? No. I think that was kind of it in the immediate term. Let's see here. We got the range. That order book skew, kind of my bearish short-term bias, just because where we are. I mean, top of the range, just kind of respecting it. I mean, we could even come up and tap this double high here. I do have it marked out the 107 area, and you really would kind of want to watch the market here. You could, if the market gives it to you, you can just chase it. When we get up here, it's showing supportive bids beneath. We're kind of lifting. All the offers are just getting eaten into like this, and we're just grinding higher. I mean, you can just chase it. So that's why I'm just remaining cautious up here. While we're still in the range, I'm not gonna, just long up here for no reason. That makes sense. The alts are kind of looking interesting. I'm not gonna lie, especially hype's been looking great. Kind of this long consolidation phase, and seem to be breaking out of the range. I guess we'll see what happens. But you can see, I mean, this one's pretty obvious. You guys can see this massive, massive, massive range we built out. And we did kind of break out of it. We'll see if we just kind of get bonked back down or not. Hype, I'm definitely watching. ENA as well. I do like the project. Seems like it's more of a picker's market lately, so trying to pick some better coins than just dog water. This one kind of the same story though. We have the origin of the move. We kind of got rejected. Um, let's go on the lower time frame here. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't look terrible. But we'll kind of see if we trade back into this range. Again, we always have this kind of value reclaim where we trade outside, we make a range, and we come back into the range. And you can at least expect, I mean, I would probably aim for at least like .9. I'd probably front run it a little bit. And then you at least expect it to tag here, if not the other side of the range. You can kind of play that, just kind of the law of market dynamics there, they call it. XRP I'm watching as well. I mean, this one, the trade really was off this monthly VWAP here, but I am still watching it. It does look okay. Pepe, I don't know if memes are just going to die or not, but it was kind of interesting how we built out this range, and then we kind of just have this void. And if we get pushed up into this void, you could kind of seeing it getting sucked at least up to here, which I thought was definitely an interesting trade. So watch Bitcoin. I've definitely been watching Pepe pretty close, just see if we get that trade. If you do, you can probably at least trade it into here, I'm thinking. There is some high volume, like that 140370 could get rejected here too, but I'll probably look to just trade the gap fill, kind of fill out the low volume node. And you're probably gonna face some resistance here or where we marked out here, with the range low. And we can kind of evaluate from there. And then also Litecoin, another thing I'm watching, looks pretty good again. Range on range kind of thing. Everything just kind of building a range right now because mark's just going sideways. Let's see, anything else? MSTR, not much going on. Coinbase. All right, I think that was basically it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments. All right, thanks, guys.